debut. Please welcome the ravishing Ridhi Dogra. I know.
It's a debut of sorts, and I'm here with my friends, so God always makes me very comfortable wherever I go. Yeah.
Acha, aap idhar baith jao. Chalo. Come on, give it up for Ridhi. And now, बड़ा ही charming है यार, बड़ा ही charming है. लेकिन इस फिल्म में थोड़ा सा बुरा है. Please welcome Paresh Pahuja. Welcome. Okay, जिसका नाम बहुत बड़े-बड़े अक्षरों में लिखा गया था वहां पर. My friend, the director, Victor Mukharjee. Please pay attention to his t-shirt as well. बहुत ही मौके के हिसाब से t-shirt पहन के आया बंदा. And last but not the least, a dog's best friend and an actor who makes being ordinary look like a superpower. Arjun Bakshi himself, Anshuman Jha! Not at all, man. आ जाओ. Okay. अब जब हम सब यहाँ पे बैठ गए, thank you for giving me this chair. Best profile is seen. मुझे तो पता भी नहीं था मेरे पास choice था. But
it's the hot seat.
Involved with this, with First Tray, with Lakadbaggha, and it's been a dream long coming. But अगर आपके पिछले कुछ acting roles देखे जाएं, your choices that you've had, you've played an LGBTQ plus character in Hum Bhi Akele Tum Bhi Akele. You've played a cult writer in Mastram. Okay. Yeah. People are never going to let you forget that.
I don't want them to.
Yeah.
I did it for them.
Yes, that's the spirit, man. To being in an Oscar-nominated director's film, No Fathers in Kashmir, as an army major, and now something like Lakadbaggha. All of these choices are so out of the box. ये ऐसे ही हो जाता है या there is a very specific thought process behind it?
सच्ची बताऊं?
सच्ची बताओ यार.
I really believe in the concept of no box. I mean, it's a human-made concept where we make boxes to be lazy, I feel. And then when we do something out of it, we feel very good, khud se. So my mother taught me this, and I believe it, that there are no systems. You create the system. And I try to live my life without a box. It's empty space for me. Wow. And that's how and that's what I look to do when I look for parts. And process is very important for me. I always stress on that. With Mastram, I am the only Indian actor who has a show with 1,000 million plus views. The only, very proud of it. There was the team of Game of Thrones that did intimacy on that show. अभी ये intimacy directors सब लोग बात करते हैं. मैं 3 साल पहले जो दुनिया के best हैं, उनके साथ काम कर चुका हूँ. So there is a process there because those women were so empowering, the way they shot that show, the way they taught me about filmmaking, about how intimacy is to be dealt with. Hum Bhi Akele was an LGBTQ plus film. Again, it took me to a space where I'm not comfortable in. And with Lakadbaggha, Krav Maga, the action, was the exciting part. I wanted to do something which pushes me physically और तकलीफ देता है मुझे थोड़ा. तो मुझे तकलीफ में मजा आता है. I like suffering. So इसीलिए मैं कोशिश करता हूँ. I think the universe gives gives all of us what we ask for, and I think I like roles which make me suffer a little.
Times you got hit on stage.
I have on set. Yeah, इस picture में मुझे I have got a cut on my chest thanks to Iksha who's not here. I've got a hit. I've got a cut here. I've got actually a bald patch here because. Yeah, so it's terrible.
It's all part of the job, huh?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and especially, wow. Seriously, that's the kind of dedication that we look for. हम सिर्फ ये कहते हैं कि बाहर अलग-अलग languages में ये सब हो रहा है हम यहाँ पे क्यों नहीं कर रहे? But this is the kind of dedication. This is the kind of follow through that is required. And with the follow through, you've also opened at KIF already. You are going ahead to the Southeast Asian Festival as well.
It's already happened.
It's already happened. Wow.
In New York City, we played it.
Wow. And we've seen the trailer here, and 13th is when it's releasing as well. Great, man. मैं ये joke crack करना चाहता था, so don't mind if I keep cracking bad jokes in between. एक बहुत ही प्यारा गाना है अली सेठी का, ठीक है? वो गाना है, मैं गाऊंगा नहीं, मैं बस बोल देता हूँ. चांदनी रात बड़ी देर के बाद आई है. रिद्धि डोगरा भी बस उतनी ही देर से आई है. So, Ridhi,
Yes.
I'm a fan of
Thanks
your
for
acting.
bullying me. Right at the beginning. सबसे पहले I want to ask, where is Arun? Arun, जिसने मुझे call किया था, is he there or he's left? Yeah, good, okay. I thought मुझे call, where are you? Where are you? Are you coming? I was like, yeah.
Arun like, please आ जाइए, हमें शुरुआत करनी है. But Ridz, I've always loved your acting. I have always looked forward to what you're doing next. You have acted across media. It does not bother you at all. You know, it's just acting is acting is acting. And this is now your film debut, right? Has it sunk in yet?
No. No, like I said, I mean, like you said, that it's all, and actually what Anshuman also said, there's no system, clean slate. That's how I also think. I don't think like, okay, now I'm doing a film. My process on whatever I've done, television किया, उसमें भी यही process होता था. मैं बहुत सवाल पूछती थी, बहुत सारे, you know, I would like to know everything. I would like to make as much logical sense of whatever I'm doing as possible.
Yeah, I've seen that on set.
Yes, and it continues to whichever set I'm on. So अपने आप को, I think when I saw myself on the big screen, Calcutta में, तब मुझे definitely लगा कि oh my God, I don't look bad, yeah, I should do more films. I look so good, I sound so good. So that definitely happened, but no, like I said, mediums don't really matter to me. They don't. You know, as long as I'm part of a good story, a good character, and a good team, that's all that truly matters.
All right. He's the dimpled antagonist in this film. Male ऐसे इंसान को बुरा कैसे माने? But that is the challenge of an actor, right? I mean, you might look so sweet, so harmless, but you have to be that toxic fellow, right? ज़्यादा strong हो गया क्या? Paresh, why didn't you tell us?
Check.
Sing also for us, na?
Huh.
He's a good singer.
Yeah, usually bad people have a very deep voice, as you can see.
Yeah, just before this, trailer launch started, Victor and I were having a chat, and he spoke of an international actor who was in 50 Shades of Grey, but also in a very opposite kind of a film. So I think looks can be deceptive, and casting shouldn't be based on that. And
Absolutely.
And which is why I love working with these guys, with Victor, with Anshuman, because they see me for what I'm not, maybe because it's a bad guy. But yeah, they believe in me. So thank you.
All right. Well, Victor, this is your first project as a director, film director, right? And do you think that your choice was to direct this film was also kind of influenced by the fact that you yourself are a graphic novel buff, right? Heroes, villains, ये तो हमारी जिंदगी का हिस्सा है. Is that something also that influenced what you were doing, and what was the experience like?
See, I believe that heroes or villains are two sides of the same coin, right? So we can't call anyone good or evil. Like in this film, when you see Paresh's character and Anshuman's character, they all are borderline on the good and evil. But we can't judge. We are no one to judge anyone. This film has a I would like to share the history behind how this film started. So Anshuman and I we were on a road trip for another show. From the east of Arunachal to the west of Arunachal, and we had a lot of time. And we were talking about, we have been friends for a very long time, and we have been talking about how we should, both of us should collaborate on a project which is about animals. And then he shared a story about how his brother picked up a hyena cub, thinking of it as a pup, and took it to their.
He knew it's a hyena, he lied. Wow. So I was born in Allahabad, and there was a security guard who told my elder brother कि भैया लकड़बग्गे का बच्चा है पालोगे? My brother, being my brother, he's my complete opposite. He said हाँ. ले आओ. So हम लोग को लगा कुत्ते का बच्चा है. And then in the 7th day उसने एक full grown Alsatian का गला पूरा फाड़ दिया. And then my mother got to know that there's a hyena in the house. So then hell broke loose and the hyena had to be taken back to the forest.
Yeah. So, and then I told him that I always wanted to make something with the name Lakadbaggha. And then he narrated a scene, which is the opening scene of our film. And we said, okay, then let's do it. And then we spoke to the writer, who is also a very dear friend, one of the best graphic novel writers in India, Alok Sharma. He
Yes, Indus verse.
yeah, he so much more. So he, all three of us, we sat and we got the story cracked, and then Lakadbaggha for us was all heart. We made a film with heart. All of us, Ridhi, Paresh, Anshuman, I, and everyone who were involved, from the writers to the guys who serve tea on the sets. Everyone made this film with heart, because when you see this film, this is for us. We didn't treat this as a project. We treated this as something that we all love about animals. We all care about. All of us care about animals, and which we don't do about it. And when someone does something about it, most of the time we don't stand against it. And this is a film about one person who stands against it. And I think it always starts with one. So this is our effort to start that thing all over the world. And,
Anshuman, do you feel that somewhere maybe the inspiration also came from, as a collective, as a team, that we live in a country where the laws against animal cruelty are not that strong? Or if they are, then they are very flimsy. Ki 500 ka fine de do, nikal jao. Did that also somewhere impact the thing that this is the kind of movie that you wanted to make? You wanted to send out a message, but in an entertainer.
Yeah, the thing is, I have grown up with dogs all my life.
Right.
So dogs are a big part of my existence.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have 2 adopted indie dogs. Everyone tells me it's crazy to adopt 2 dogs in an apartment. And the thing is, मैं चाहे दिन में कितना भी थका हूँ, मैंने 12 घंटे काम किया हो, 16 घंटे काम किया हो, 20 घंटे काम किया हो, I go back home and I walk them personally. I don't have a walker. I think it's a responsibility when you, और ये शुरुआत I think it big credit to my mother, because she told me, when you commit to something, commit 100%. So if you choose, and it kind of is applying to all relationships, human relationships as well. So I don't like convenient things in life. I judge them. I'm very openly saying that. I judge people who are convenient. And the thing was, I wanted to make a film about a character who's simple, who's ordinary, that if someone as ordinary as Anshuman can do it, then anybody in the audience can do it.
Right. Right.
That's the thought and the power of Lakadbaggha, that Arjun Bakshi is a simple boy who वो courier service का काम करता है, कुछ नहीं, जिसके कुत्ते हैं, जिसको वो खिलाता है indie dogs को streets में, और उसमें से एक कुत्ता missing हो जाता है, और वो उस कुत्ते से जो layers खुलते हैं, and how he comes across a hyena, and that's what the journey is. So the whole idea behind the film was to say something true and honest. This story has lived with me for about good part of 6 years. In fact, when we, as First Ray Films, we did our first film called Mona Darling, which was on Amazon Prime, तब मुझे ये film बनानी थी. लेकिन क्योंकि ये थोड़ी बड़ी film थी, and I wanted an international DOP, a foreign musician, ये सब चीजें मुझे तब से चाहिए थी.
A great stunt team.
A great stunt team. I didn't want to do action with जो कि हो रहा है. So like I'm a huge fan of, say, Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee is an idol for me. So मैं चाहता था कि हम सब, जब रिद्धि ने भी ट्रेनिंग की या एकशा ने ट्रेनिंग की, I went to New York to train with Sahi Shimesh, who's trained the Avengers cast. Again, no Indian film or Indian actor has worked with someone like Sahi. And Sahi said something very interesting to me. He said, I usually get actors who are, buffed and built and big. And, they are the prototype for action.
Correct.
This is the first time I'm getting an actor who's an artist who's training to do an action film. So like I said, again going back to my out of box and no box concept, कि कुछ भी set नहीं है, ये सब हमारे दिमाग में condition किया गया है. And we as a company are trying to break that and gradually do it where we want to work with universal people, happy people, like Ridhi is happy. Like this film's biggest plus has been the joy we've had during the shoot.
Yes, yes, that's true.
And I'm very grateful to each one of them, people who are not even here. Jean-Marc, the French DP. He didn't need to do this film, but he did. Simon Francois, he didn't need to, but they all loved the script. And we are all dog lovers. So that's what's connecting all of us.
I think with that intention, I think that's why that quote is right there. It's not the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the dog.
It's a fun fact. That quote was on my diary. I write diaries every year. So it was on my diary when I was 12 years old. So that quote has been, I love Mark Twain. I used to read his books as a kid. And I love that quote. So it kind of went with the world of Lakadbaggha that Alok wrote. And how Alok created Arjun Bakshi. So that's why I thought the quote is symbolic of the film.
And also, when you see the action, I would also like to thank Vicky Arora from Foursquare Action. He designed the stunts really well. They all trained with them, and you see the action. You will not see anything flying, anything going overboard. It's very, very grounded, very regular. There's very raw. So that I also think is one of the very good points about our film, what we tried to make, and rest is for you guys to decide, but yeah.
Well, the rest is for you to decide. January 13th is when the film hits the theaters. Yes. But there is a question that I have that only Anshuman can answer, and that is why Jan 13th? Why did you choose that date, given everything that's happening, the current situation, vagera, vagera?
See, the film premiered in Kolkata, went to New York. We wanted to ride that wave. We just felt that, it just felt right. I'm a very feeling-based person. So when something feels right, I do it. And किसी महान पुरुष ने, I should say, किसी महान पठान ने कहा है कि मौसम खराब होने वाला है. कुर्सी की पेटी बांध लीजिए. तो मैंने सोचा इससे पहले कि मौसम खराब हो, पिक्चर रिलीज कर दो.
Of course, yaar.
इसको कहते हैं क्रॉस प्रमोशन.
Cross promotion. Anshuman ne kaha ki. But yes, of course, there has to be that optimism, and there has
Also,
to be
we didn't know, that Kutte is coming on the same day, which is ironic, and we would love, like I'm going to be messaging everybody. Nasir Saab. I've grown up, I started with theatre and I've done backstage for Motley. So I want the whole team of Kutte to watch our film, and I want our entire team to go and watch Kutte, and I think it's going to be a great Friday.
Yeah, it will be. Well, before we open the ground for questions from the press, is there anything else any of you would like to add? Kuch bhi?
Yeah, we'll wait for the
वहाँ से questions. ठीक है जी, तो प्रेस वाले आपका तो सबसे पहले हाथ उठ गया है. तो माइक जहाँ पे भी जिसके भी हाथ में हो, please pass it on to this gentleman here. जी सर, ढंग का सवाल पूछना पीछे से गुहार रही है.
I'll try my best. Hi, this is Mayur here from Beyond Bollywood.
Hi Mayur, thank you for coming.
Firstly, I think congratulations. It's an interesting trailer, and I'm glad someone has thought on these lines. And I just have a couple of questions. I think first probably I'll ask to Ridhi. I don't know whether you'll remember me, but many years back, I think when you had stepped into television, I think it was a real TV show or something. That is when I had the honor of meeting you, and I was blown away by your confidence, for a young girl. And obviously you briefly mentioned that mediums have never mattered to you as such, but it's been a long wait, to get a first film break. What I would like to know from you is, starting from that day and today, obviously when you started, did you even have any film aspirations, or you were just ready to go with the flow?
That's exactly what I did all my life. I just have gone with the flow. So I would not say I waited for a film to happen and it happened very late. It's happened when it had to. I was honestly never really keen to do films. I was not chasing them. I was always happy exploring my own self wherever I was. So if I was on a set for that time, then I'm happy to give it my best, and I literally would give it my best. you know, if I sat down to talk to you, I hope I tried to give my best to the chat we had back then, because that's all. मेरे लिए life उतनी ही है कि मैं जहाँ हूँ वहाँ पूरी तरह जीऊँ. So I don't really plan ahead or see. I don't believe in mojo. I believe in Jomo. I don't mind. That's my thing. Jomo is my thing. Wherever I am, that's where paradise is. That's what I believe. So I don't, you know, the journey, when you ask me about the journey from that day to today, it's been full of experiences, full of, you know, I honestly feel like आपने कहा कि मैं आपसे तब मिली थी, you know, I've constantly met people along my journey. I've met so many people I used to know, so many people have helped me. So I feel like I'm really protected on this journey. I'm constantly meeting people who I've known before, and you know, that feels really good. So I only have good things to say about whatever journey I'm having, and wherever everything takes me, you know, whether, like I said, mere liye lines matter hi nahi karti. So whatever medium, I'm happy to contribute and add value.
But post the success of Asur, you know, there must have been aspiration, you know, that now maybe the country at large, you know, at least the Hindi audience has, you know, seen your talent, you know, on a different medium. So post Asur, you must have like had some, you know, humble expectations.
You know, so Asur happened before lockdown, and I couldn't. This is the only thing that I've actually often spoken about. Also, Asur happened. We went into lockdown in a week, so the world was hit by a very different kind of, you know, उसमें time ही नहीं था for me to process what, you know, this newfound love that I was receiving. I was receiving a lot of love from people thanks to social media. I was getting to know about it. And then the same thing happened with me a year after that, which is last year, with Married Woman. Married Woman released in March, and again the country was hit by a very bad bout of, you know, everyone was not in a good space, if we all remember that time. So I think the timing was, you know, my work has been very well received, but timing of things till now was a little off, and I take things with a sense of humor. So it's absolutely fine, but I'm hoping that now, you know, I'd be able to make something of the love that people give me and take it to a higher level.
Just two quick questions, short ones. You know, Anshuman briefly mentioned about Kutte and Lakadbaggha. You know, this is just a tongue-in-cheek question. Between a pack of Lakadbagghas and a pack of dogs, who has the big bite force?
Sir, you don't need a pack of Lakadbagghas. एक ही काफी है.
But usually they hunt in pair.
Sorry?
Usually they hunt as a group, no? They hunt as a
Not
pack.
really. When
Not
they are
hyenas.
hungry, and when they are in scavenging mode, and when the game is big, hyenas hunt in packs when they are going for the lion. Only because they are very smart. I'll tell you a few fun facts about hyena. They can count. Hyenas can count. Okay, one of the only animals other than the monkey that has that brain cell. It has the highest protein content, hyena milk, amongst all mammals on the planet. All mammals. So hyena का दूध जो पिएगा, इसीलिए hyena के बच्चे मतलब बचपन से ही खतरनाक होते हैं. जैसे मैंने आपको स्टोरी सुनाई, इलाहाबाद में full grown Alsatian का गला फाड़ दिया. So to give a tongue-in-cheek answer to your tongue-in-cheek question,
I'll give you one Lakadbaggha for their kutte. This is one Lakadbaggha, and that film is called Kutte.
I didn't say anything.
No, that's wonderful.
We are animal lovers, so कुत्ते भी लकड़बग्गा भी साथ में रहेंगे. Of course.
Just one
please
last
go ahead.
question, if I may. Basically, when it comes to, you know, animal welfare, you know, and especially for celebrities, you know, so I personally feel it's always a double-edged sword, because the moment that particular celebrity is captured eating any non-vegetarian food, and then, you know, people are out to, you know, they'll troll them, you know, that this is hypocrisy. So I appreciate, you know, each one of you all can just comment on this.
It is. And I'm willing to put my neck out and say it. It's big time hypocrisy. I called out my own hypocrisy 3 years ago. I was born in a Maithil Brahmin family. So fish was by default a staple diet. And when the lockdown happened in 2019, I lost my mother in 2020. I lost my mom, and then the lockdown happened. A lot of things in my life changed. And I was sitting with my dog, and I realized that if I love this dog, और मैं और कोई मीट नहीं खाता था, मैं सिर्फ मछली खाता था. और मैंने decide किया कि नहीं यार, I can't be a hypocrite. And I have been vegetarian now for nearly 3 years. And I think my humble opinion, my 2 cents. Everybody has their freedom and they can choose to do what they want. But मेरा ऐसा मानना है कि we need to respect all living things. It's only our greed that attracts us to, and it's our conditioning. Like I was conditioned to eat fish, right? Because it wasn't my choice that I was. So it's a much larger spectrum and a much wider thing we need to deal with, and we can't only judge people on one choice. We need to educate them, and then it's, I think, an instinctive thing here. So I can personally say I am a pure veg. I am married to a vegan who makes better vegan food than most vegetarian, non-vegetarian
That she
things
does.
I've had. So I'm lucky that way.
Ridhi and the director and the Miss, would you like to add to this?
On.
I actually, you know, after shooting for this film, I stopped eating chicken.
ये पिक्चर देखने के बाद आप लोग बिरयानी छोड़ देंगे, इसकी गारंटी मैं देता हूँ.
Guys, I have. I mean, I really enjoy my food, and but I told all of them that you guys have ruined me for life. I do not want to eat chicken after I've seen what I've seen in this film, and I've been honestly, I've been telling a lot of people the same. Guys, don't eat chicken. You don't know what is what anymore. You don't even know how it's cooked. And I've got a lot of people thinking in the past few months. So this film will definitely do that much to you.
Okay. Sir, would you like to add, please?
हाँ जी. To answer your first question.
रिद्धि जी
रिद्धि जी रुकिए.
एक मिनट अरुण, एक मिनट रुकना.
और 1 मिनट ये जरा जवाब दे दें.
हाँ जी. Thank you. यार लक्कड़ बग्गा हो, कुत्ते हो, भालू हो, लोमड़ी हो, जंगल में सबके लिए जगह है. You know, nature has its own ecosystem, and that's how we should treat our films also. Instead of competing with one another, we should cheer for each other. And talking about my personal choices and how I support what I believe in, एक तो है कि एक डायलॉग है रंग दे बसंती में कि दुनिया में 2 तरह के लोग होते हैं. एक वो जो बस देखते हैं, बर्दाश्त करते हैं, और दूसरे जो जिम्मेदारी लेते हैं अपनी तरफ से. So this bunch is that bunch who's taking a little initiative. You're not trying to preach anything. You have your own choices. But personal level pe, I also try to do. I've stopped consuming or wearing any leather products. पूरी तरह avoid करना मुश्किल होता है because of the kind of world we live in. Everything is so modernized. I'm trying to go more towards sustainable fashion, which is environment friendly. तो बस छोटा छोटा करो यार, बूंद बूंद सागर.
Thank you
Thank you
so
guys.
much.
Well said.
All the best to you all. All the best to you.
हमारा अगला सवाल कहाँ पे था? माइक उनको
रिद्धि
पास कर
जी
दीजिए प्लीज.
एंड
Hi, Arun.
अंशुमन जी क्या हो अगर रियल में लकड़बग्घा आप लोगों के सामने आ जाए, सो कैसे हैंडल करेंगे आप एंड कैसे ट्रीट करेंगे?
मेरे सामने आया है.
आया
मैंने
है?
खतरों के खिलाड़ी किया था और मेरे सामने लक्कड़बग्गा आया था. And but we also had a lot of people who were there to keep us separate and make sure that the animal doesn't cross a certain limit. But it's very scary. Hyenas are very scary.
Yeah, because आपको कुछ नहीं करना पड़ता तो वो लकड़ बगाई करता है.
यार मेरा एक दूसरा टेक है जानवरों के बारे में. मैं 5 साल का था तो इलाहाबाद में किंग कोबरा मेरे पाँव के ऊपर से ऐसे चला गया था, फुल ग्रोन. हाँ, मेरे घर में रहता था और मैंने फिर उसको चेस किया देखने के लिए कि वो कहाँ रहता है. तो मेरा ऐसा मानना है हर जानवर, सी एनिमल्स रिएक्ट टू इंस्टिंक्ट, दे डोंट अंडरस्टैंड लैंग्वेज. सो व्हाट यू नीड टू हैव इज अ क्लीन हार्ट, एंड व्हेन आई से अ क्लीन हार्ट, it needs to be a consistent clean heart. It can't be a convenient, temporary, superficial clean heart.
Like clarity.
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 So if a real lakadbagga comes in front of me, I will be stupid to go and interact with it. But if I don't have an option, I will try to do what Arjun did in the film and try to tame it like best I have been taught to tame other 4-legged creatures. And मुझे बहुत मज़ा आता है ट्रेनिंग देखने में. मैं सिंगापुर जू में गया था तो मैं वहाँ टाइगर्स, लाइक रेगुलर टाइगर्स को देखता था जो ट्रेनर्स के साथ इंटरेक्ट करते थे, और मैं 4 घंटे बैठ के उनको सिर्फ देखता रहता था कि क्या हो रहा है ये. और वो समझते थे. ऐसा नहीं है कि वो हमारी भाषा समझते हैं, लेकिन वो हमारी इंस्टिंक्ट को समझते हैं. तो अगर आई थिंक टू आंसर सर्स क्वेश्चन एंड योर क्वेश्चन टुगेदर, कि it is about a collective consciousness that we need to start getting more aware, more conscious, and animals will stop harming us. Like me and my wife have been on क्या कहते हैं हम, we've seen snakes in the wild and they have never attacked. They are chilling, taking the sun in. You don't disturb them, they don't disturb you. It's just simple.
सो अंशुमन जी, लकड़बग्घा से डर लगता है आपको या पठान से?
एक और टंग इन चीक क्वेश्चन।
सर पठान से डर नहीं लगता, पठान से बहुत प्यार है बचपन से। इनफैक्ट जब भी मिले हैं उनसे, उन्होंने सिर्फ इनकरेज ही किया है। मेरी किस्मत अच्छी रही है कि मुझे एक ऐड करने का मौका मिला है उनके साथ, समय बिताने का मौका मिला है, लेकिन सिर्फ प्यार है, सिर्फ प्यार और इज्जत। और लकड़बग्घा से डर नहीं लगता क्योंकि अब वो मेरा दोस्त बन गया इस फिल्म में।
अंशुमन, रिद्धि जी ने बताया कि ट्रेलर में आपकी पहली डेट है और हमने आपको नोटिस, रिद्धि जी ने बताया कि ट्रेलर में आपकी पहली डेट है एंड हमने आपको नोटिस किया, आप कहीं पार्टीज में नहीं दिखाई देते, कहीं स्पॉटिंग नहीं होते। तो क्या ये वो रीज़न है कि आप बहुत सारी फिल्में करते हैं, या बॉलीवुड में होकर आपकी पहली डेट? मुझे कुछ समझा नहीं, अगर आप बता सकें।
मुझे आपका सवाल नहीं समझ। मैं बहुत सारी फिल्में नहीं करता हूँ, शायद इसलिए क्योंकि मैं ज़्यादा बाहर नहीं जाता, ज़्यादा मेरे दोस्त यार नहीं है। नहीं यार, मुझे सच्ची में, मैं फिल्म ना भगवान सरस्वती है मेरे लिए। आप समझिए मेरी अपब्रिंगिंग जो टीचर्स ने मुझे सिखाया है। तो मैं अपनी दुनिया में काम करता हूँ, मैं टाइम पे सोता हूँ, टाइम पे जागता हूँ, मेहनत करता हूँ, बहुत मेहनत करता हूँ। मुझसे ज़्यादा मेहनत मेरे हिसाब से कोई नहीं करता। और ये मैं सच्चे दिल से बोल रहा हूँ, क्योंकि मैं दिन रात सिर्फ काम करता हूँ। मैं शराब नहीं पीता, मैं सिगरेट नहीं पीता, मैं पार्टियाँ नहीं करता हूँ। और ये मेरा चॉइस है बचपन से, ऐसा नहीं है कि मैं एफर्ट करता हूँ। मैं ये नहीं कह रहा हूँ ये सही है, ये गलत है, सबकी अपनी चॉइस है। लेकिन मैं कॉन्शियसली ट्राई करता हूँ कि मैं एक टाइम में एक फिल्म करूँ और उसको पूरी तरह से करूँ। सो लकड़बग्घा का जो पोस्टर था, जो ट्रेलर था, ये कोट था, ये फिल्म शूट होने से पहले मेरे दिमाग में था। जो कैंपेन, आप शोंकू मिसिंग के होर्डिंग्स देखेंगे बाहर, शोंकू मिसिंग, शोंकू इज इन द फिल्म, होर्डिंग्स जो पोस्टर्स लगे हैं। तो मैं कोशिश करता हूं कि मैं एक टाइम में एक काम करूं। तो जब मैंने शादी करके हनीमून पे गया, 1 महीने मैंने चिल किया, कुछ नहीं किया, ठीक है। और जब मैं काम करता हूं तो मैं सिर्फ काम करता हूं। टू दी, I mean, I annoy some people sometimes, but that's how I am, that's how I will be, and I like working with people who can work around that.
Why did you look at us when you said you annoy some people?
Because I do annoy someone.
Anshuman over here.
Hello, main
Anshuman.
question
Yeah.
here.
किस तरफ हो यार, बहुत रोशनी है, पता नहीं चल रहा।
Yeah.
ओके,
Hi.
Anshuman, it's been over a decade, मतलब कि आप लव, सेक्स और धोखा किए थे, और फिर उससे पहले आपने प्लेज में भी काम किया है। तो आपको क्या लगता है कि मतलब इतनी सारी अच्छी फिल्म में आपने काम किया है, बट आपको जो ड्यू मिलना चाहिए था अभी तक मिला नहीं है ड्यू, तो क्या कहेंगे उसके बारे में?
सच बताऊं यार, देख, ये जो मुझे लगता है भगवान जितना देता है, जब देता है, फिलोसॉफिकली नहीं बोल रहा हूँ, उतना ही मिलता है। जहाँ तक ड्यू की बात है, मैं 30-40 साल तक अगर जिंदा रहा तो खेलूंगा। तो वो इवेंचुअली बच्चन साहब ने मुझे एक बार बोला था, मैंने उनके साथ जब शूट पे था, कि लॉन्ग रन में सब बराबर हो जाता है। तो मुझे बिल्कुल भी इस बात का ना गम है। मैं बहुत ज़्यादा खुश नहीं होता हूँ, बहुत ज़्यादा दुखी नहीं होता हूँ। मैं कोशिश करता हूँ पूरी मेहनत करने की। और जहाँ तक आपका सवाल है, अगर आप मुझे थोड़ा चाबी मार रहे हैं कि मेरे कंटेम्प्रेरीज आगे बढ़ गए हैं, तो मैं उनके लिए बहुत खुश हूँ, क्योंकि वो मुझे इंस्पायर करते हैं, और ये मैं सच्ची बोल रहा हूँ। और मेरे लिए काम बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है यार। तो मैं जब एक फिल्म करता हूँ ना, तो मैं पूरी शिद्दत से करता हूँ, एंड फुल 200% एफर्ट के साथ। एंड आई डोंट ट्राई टू फील गुड और बैड अबाउट गेटिंग। आई थिंक कंपैरिजन इज द थीफ ऑफ जॉय, इट्स अ वेरी फेमस कोट। सो आई डोंट बिलीव कि बाहर क्या हो रहा है, आई ओनली बिलीव इन माई स्फीयर। 2002 में मैंने अपना पहला नाटक किया था पृथ्वी थिएटर में। 21 साल हो गए अब।